Vernon, a question for Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, what about the bill for funding infrastructure improvements in the country? I listened to a British expert the other day describe the United States now as basically a second world country in terms of transit, mass transit, bridges and roads. Are you willing to vote to fund that to straighten out some of the infrastructure problems this country has, or no?
Well, Vernon, I'm a big believer that this infrastructure in this country is getting towards its life's end. We do need to invest in infrastructure. It's just like any other thing you buy or purchase or build. It has a life expectancy.
So you would vote for something?
I didn't say that. I was no, but what we need to do is to come to the realization that that's what the problem we have. Bottom line is infrastructure is declining in this, and it needs redone. And so we need to get the funding to do that. And one of the ways to do that is to grow this economy so we have more income for that. There's more than one way to fund transportation. You know, if we was to cut some of our other areas, such as the energy department, you know, there's lots of places where we can cut expenses in this country. And let's do that, and we may come up and find a way that we can shift some of that money over to the infrastructure in this country, because it is hurting the economy. I mean, I felt that firsthand when I was in business, that we could not haul some of our product direct. We had to go around, and now's the time to get started on that.
Mr. Casey.
Vernon, I think it's a very good question for two reasons. Substantively, but also it shines a light on some of the problems in Washington with partisanship and with ideology. We've had a couple of occasions in the 6 years that I've served in the Senate to move forward in a positive direction on infrastructure, to invest in roads and bridges and public works and ways to improve the economy of Pennsylvania and the country, and to invest in the newer infrastructure, meaning broadband and the new technologies of the future that will create jobs. But unfortunately, the partisanship meant that we had a very close vote on the Recovery Act, which provided some measure of support for infrastructure. Candidly, looking back on it now, we probably should have done more in that bill and when we passed the Recovery Act. Secondly, we have a transportation bill that's a little more than 2 years, only 27 months, but it used to be that Democrats and Republicans would work together to pass a more robust transportation bill, to invest in infrastructure across the country so that we're creating jobs and at the same time rebuilding the foundation of the economy. But again, on the transportation bill, one of the reasons that it was held up for so long was because the Tea Party in the House and their ideology kept it from moving forward. I would hope that my opponent, if he were to be elected to the U.S. Senate, would say to the Tea Party, we need to invest in the future, we need to create jobs, we need to move the economy forward, and that means disagreeing with the Tea Party and making sure that we're investing in infrastructure.